So, Jack and the Pack, or Jack and the Soda Construction Company, whatever. So, to the people who don't know, after Britt Allcroft had left the show due to the failure of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Jack and the Pack was an attempt by the creators of the show to make a spin-off series of Thomas and Friends. The idea was pretty similar, except now it was about construction vehicles instead of locomotives. The main character was supposedly be Jack, and the top hat of this series would be Miss Jenny. When I asked my friends about the pack, they would always say, "Oh yeah, that's them." Was pretty good, I think. Okay, the talking trains would always be the much more superior one, but the idea of this series about talking construction vehicles just intrigues me. In my opinion, during the new era, these were the only episodes that kind of somewhat remind of the classic series, at least season 6 and 7. Pack was actually introduced in season 6. This was done so that when the show would launch, kids would already be familiar with the characters. So 2 episodes were made in that season to introduce these characters. And within some of the bad episodes season 6 had, this one was very good in my opinion. I just love how the show introduced this whole fleet of new characters in 2 episodes. The filming for the Pack spin-off episode started around 2002, also around the time season 7 was being filmed. But then Hit Entertainment came and bought the show's rights after 12 episodes out of the 26 episodes were completed filming. And yes, they cancelled the Pack entirely to focus on making Thomas a much more babyish and educational show. Some people say this happened due to it being too similar to Bob the Builder. Jack and the Pack is as similar to Bob the Builder as classic Thomas is to Chuggington. They may have some similarities, but they aren't the same. So, the Pack episodes are tucked away forever? Actually, not really. In 2006, Hit decided to release the episodes as a DVD exclusive, the On-Site with Thomas DVD, or Thomas's Trusty Friends in the UK. Of course, they had included Thomas's name on it. The DVD was seemingly a huge success as they had loads of merchandise for it, which had obviously made a lot of money as they were manufactured for a very, very long time. Did the kids even know who half of them are? The episodes itself were very enjoyable. The episodes could sometimes become a little silly or boring, but it was still pretty good. It felt very season 7 or season 6 type episode. Even though only half of the intended episodes were filmed, they still managed to have all the characters star in every episode. I like how all of them were fleshed out more here since their season 6 appearances. My personal favorite character is Oliver. I just love how he looks. His prop just looks so magnificent and fantastic. His facial expressions are also pretty funny and some are just priceless. I also love how his arm can be fitted with different parts. I also especially love this scene with him. Ouch! 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 Jack and Alfie are also pretty good. To me, they seem like Thomas and Percy of this group. I like Jack a lot and love how relatable he is. He's a very well developed character. I like how he sometimes can be mean and a bit of a jerk, but is still a nice guy. One of the best parts of the show were the kind of antagonists. 2 bully dump trucks who are Max and Monty. I find these two to be one of the best characters in the pack. They are fun, very funny, and also just complete jerks. And for some odd reason as a kid I used to find Max and Monty badass. I don't know why, cause now that I see them, I wouldn't want to be like them, like, at all. I also like Patrick in On-Site with Thomas. Within just this one episode we get his whole character. He's basically the James of the pack. He's boastful, arrogant, and thinks he's the best. I like his character a lot. It's a real shame that Patrick was just a one-off. As for the cancelled character Nigel, it's a shame that he didn't make it. But considering how tight budget and resources would have been, him being cut out doesn't surprise me too much. Considering his illustrations though, he certainly would have looked great, and it would be nice if the team looked at the illustrations and gave him a chance. I also think Buster is pretty good. He's just very likable and I like how he likes doing his own work. I also think the reason why people even to this day find these characters and the pack overall interesting is probably due to the history. Some facts about its production are still a mystery. However, there were many flaws with the series. One of them is the name itself. As you have seen in the intro of this video, I don't like this title much. Jack and the Soda Construction Company. It sounds too long and doesn't roll off the tongue. I still don't get why didn't they just call it Jack and the Pack. Like the Unlucky Thug, I think they did this to either make it sound much more educational or so that they don't refer the characters as the Pack in any episode. I mean, they were referred to as the Pack in season 6. Talking about titles and names, another thing I dislike are the titles of some of the episodes. They change the titles to have Thomas and Percy in it, and most of them don't even make sense. On Side with Thomas doesn't have anything to do with Thomas, so why did they change it? Same goes for Percy's Scary Tale. The original titles sound way better. Percy helps out, but Nelson gets carried away, and a visit from Thomas was Oliversaurus. These titles sound so much better. So why did Hitch have the need to change them? Why did Thomas and Percy have to be in the titles? Talking about Thomas and Percy, they're also very shoehorned into many of the episodes. I mean, heck, this is supposed to be a spin-off, but the DVD has Thomas in its picture and also has him in its name. It doesn't seem like a spin-off if Thomas keeps on appearing all the time. Thomas and Percy most of the time don't even add anything to the plot. Well, that's enough with the bad. There are many good stuff about it too. I would want to mention the music once, as I feel like this had one of the best, if not the best, new series themes. The pack theme was just great, and this was one of Ed Welch's best themes for the new series. This was also definitely Michelangelo's highest point after season 6. There was just so much enthusiasm in his voice with every story. Some of his lines were delivered so well that I found myself laughing on a few occasions. Yeah, his voices for a couple of the characters change often, and his voice for Miss Jen is completely different to the one in season 6, but I can let it slide. My most least favorite episode would probably be A Tale for Thomas or The Lightning Tree. Why would you want to save a tree that needs felling? How can you save a tree that needs felling? Regardless of what I think about it, at least that episode realized that you couldn't save a tree that had fallen. Yeah, it sets a dramatic climax, but it just makes no sense for me. But my most favorite would have to be Alfie Had Kittens. Here Alfie is sensitive about being teased for his small size, but in the end, he proves that size doesn't matter when it comes to being a hero, especially when he saves the mother cat and a kitten. Even though Thomas's role was small, it does actually help Alfie feel better about himself. In conclusion, I like Jack and the Pack. It was fun to watch and was very enjoyable. I appreciate the crew and team for putting so much effort into building the props with so much detail. These are probably one of the most detailed props in Thomas. All of the models look fantastic. The sets were also appealing and they felt like real construction sites, which is great. I would also love to see all the missing episodes too. Jack saving kids with a snowplow, Max and Monty feeling diesel power is better than steam powered, and Byron bossing the others about and so many more. But there is probably no chance that's gonna ever happen. Yes, there are some flaws here and there, but overall it's very good. It is a real shame that this spin-off series wasn't launched. If Hit didn't buy Thomas, then probably there would be a show called Jack and the Pack. And just imagine what that would be like.